So we have Dr. Aishwarya with us. Dr. Aishwarya was here day before talking about the Argos machine. So today she'll be doing her case of intumescent mature cataract. She'll be doing the Catalys part of it, which will be followed by Dr. Narendra KP operating the surgery and implanting a Synergy IOL. Over to Dr. Aishwarya. Are we audible?
Yes, Tejal. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining me today, this morning, and today I'll be talking about Catalys. Let me go through the Catalys as a system first. We have an update which is COS 7, which is an upgrade from what it was earlier, COS 6. So you can see over here on the screen that along with my name, all the particulars of the patient, there is K1, K2 and all the keratometric values which are present. You will see something on the left that there is an iris registration which has happened along with some quality indicators which show 3 green lights. So basically you have to understand that this particular machine has gone an upgrade and it has integrated with IOL Master now. This is the first time that we are going live with this. And with this IOL Master, every data gets converted and gets transmitted from the IOL Master to this machine using a small pen drive. And now with these quality indicators, if all the values are green, and that means it is above 60, that means the iris registration which has happened at the level of the IOL Master has to match with the quality indicators which will come now in Catalys. So let's move forward, and then I'll show you how it goes from here. So now I'm going to do the docking. Our patient is a 24-year-old male who's having Fuchs. Just put over there. And he is having an intumescent mature cataract. I'm aiming only for a rhexis over here of about 5 millimeters. So now I have done the vacuum capture, which would have come on the screen now. So in Catalys, you have something which is known as liquid optic interface, which is very, very convenient to dock on. And now, I have to match it to the screen and make sure that everything is central. And now press the capture button and a lock button over here. Now, once the fluid is verified, now let's come to the iris registration part. Now it's calculating, it's basically seeing what is present right now versus what was there in IOL Master. You can see the surface mapping being happening for the anterior cornea, the posterior cornea, the anterior lens capsule. Since it is intumescent matte cat, it has given a iris registration error. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to center the white to white over here, and once it is done, it has now captured the posterior capsule as well. It is asking for modifications because it is an intumescent matte cat. I've done the cyclorotation also over here. Once it is approved and the iris matching has happened with the IOL Master, now we can go to a pupil maximized setting which will help me to do the rhexis. And now the approval has happened, and I'm just going to press my foot pedal to complete the rhexis over here.
See, the beauty about the Catalys is it's super damn quick, which is very, very important in intumescent cataract, because if the laser is slow, by the time it comes to the other side, the fluid would have leaked and then the laser won't hit. So you'll have certain areas where it's not actually fired, so you have to be very, very careful. That's the beauty of the system. And plus, with the latest upgrade, it takes data from the IOL Master and compensate for the cyclotorsion, so that you don't need to, manually rotate it, position it. And for all docking positions, I mean, not just docking, even while you do your surgery, this you have to make a routine that the scleral show should be equal on all sides. Absolutely. You have to make it as a routine, because it makes a huge difference how you do your surgery. Without realizing, you'll be actually struggling to do the surgery. Yeah.
So now we also come to some changes which have happened now in COS 7. That is, earlier it was already Donenfeld nomogram, but Stevens nomogram has also been added over here. You can do your SIE adjustment, and you can also talk about the total case which are available from the IL master. And coming to the Donenfeld nomogram, you can just see that all the anterior case, the ATR length adjustments, the WTR length adjustments, all those values can be easily added over here. And coming back to the Stevens. So Stevens nomogram, you can add the minimum arc length, the maximum arc length, and all the other details about the optic zone as well. Okay.
So basically for, the low astigmatism, when you're trying to correct, when you're not going for the toric IOL. So this is also a wonderful tool wherein previously we used to measure it and see what is the size and, how many clock hours and all those things. Now it's all built in. The nomogram is there, you just fire it, you're done with the work, and the only thing is you can see how much of percentage of the correction of the Donald fields you want. You want 60%, 70%, 90%. What you want, you can program it depending on your how your results are, and then that really optimizes your outcomes post surgery.
Naren, do you typically open it or do you leave it closed?
Actually, it varies, sir, but what we normally do is we keep it closed, we don't open it, because what happens is a lot of times when you open it, the effect is much more, but it can be variable. It's much more variable if you open it, but if you keep it closed, it's more consistently, it'll be the same kind of correction every time, so that it's much easier to operate. So normally we keep it closed itself, sir. We don't open it.
What's the maximum limit to which you would use arcs instead of a toric lens?
Actually, toric lens is the first choice, sir. Simple. If the whole plan is any patient, doesn't matter if it's even just looking at the K values, it doesn't show, put the patient on to the toric calculator, have a look. If it's suggesting something, please, that's what we go ahead. Unless the patient, sometimes they feel, I've paid money for the laser, I don't want to pay more for the toric lens. There are certain scenarios like that. So then, okay, fine, let's correct something from, these lasers. Always, hands down, still toric lens, does fantastic as compared to lasers. But this is another, very controlled way of, correcting your residual astigmatism as compared to manually doing, these kind of openings. Dr. Shreyas?
Just a quick question regarding the capsular excess. Do you reduce the offset, madam, when you're doing the capsular excess in an intumescent cataract like you just showed?
No, I did not. In this particular case, I did not, because it is a young patient. But probably in a intumescent cataract where the bulk of the nucleus was too much, then I would have done that. Not much.
I think that's a very good point.
Yeah. Talking about the anterior posterior offset for the capsular excess itself, because generally it takes about 1.7 to 1.9 seconds in Catalys. And at times, if it is not the hydrated intumescent cataract, but the milky cortex which is present tends to egress out as soon as there is a nick made in some area. And this can lead to areas of uncut capsular excess on the other side.
Absolutely.
So one of the things which we found useful is to reduce the anterior-posterior offset, because the laser tends to cut from posterior to anterior. And while cutting through the posterior, the area where it nicks the capsule first, especially if it's not a uniformly intumescent, it will egress out there. So by reducing the offset, we can reduce the time, and actually Catalys can bring it down to as low as 0.7, 0.8 seconds, which makes it a very quick and consistent rhexis. Yes, you may still have to stain and gather the rhexis towards the center, but it at least gives us a consistent uniformity all around 360 degrees.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
And also I would like to...
Yeah. Please go ahead, Aishwarya.
Yeah, so I also would like to talk about the cyclo rotation part of it over here, which was not present earlier in Catalys. So now you can actually do cyclo rotation, and according to your preferences of your marks and your main incision and your side incisions, you can actually do cyclo rotation and accordingly take decisions on how you want to do your toric calculations as well.
Fantastic surgery, Dr. Aishwarya. I mean, it's super, super quick. That's the whole part. And even the interface is, it's like a, iPhone, the interface is very smooth from the very beginning. It's so beautiful and very user-friendly. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.